The Alliance to restore the Republic wages war on the Galactic Empire for the very liberty of the galaxy. Brilliant commanders lead brave soldiers against the Empire to end its tyranny and return the Republic to its former glory. Devise your own strategies and battle plans in Lead by Example. This sourcebook expands upon the Age of Rebellion role-playing game, presenting new options for commander characters as well as any other characters interested in leading soldiers in the Star Wars galaxy. Stand as a symbol of bravery and heroism to those who would take up arms against tyranny and oppression. This is a review of Star Wars Lead by Example. Let's dive in. So here we have our Star Wars Age of Rebellion Lead by Example sourcebook for commanders, published in 2016 by Fantasy Flight Studios, now Edge Studios. The introduction chapter goes through the whole rigmarole of how commanders fit into the Star Wars universe. There really isn't anything important, but if you like that style of fluffy writing, then you'll definitely enjoy that chapter. The voice of authority is going to be the players section, so anything that's new for players to grab is going to be in this chapter. We do have new commander duties such as camaraderie, combat victory, enemy demoralization, intelligence, internal security, loss prevention, political support, recruiting, resource acquisition, space superiority, tech procurement, and support. The three new species granted to us are the Chagrian, the Ishitib, and the Lanix. The Chagrian begin the game with a 3 in willpower, a 1 in agility, and a 2 in everything else. Their starting wound threshold is 11 plus brawn, and their starting strain threshold is 10 plus willpower. They start with only 90 XP though. Chagrians begin the game with 1 rank in resilience, and they are amphibious, meaning they can breathe underwater without penalty and never suffer movement penalties for traveling through water. They also begin the game with 1 rank in the knowledge specialization talent. The Ishitib begin the game with a 3 in intellect, a 1 in willpower, and a 2 in everything else. Their starting wound threshold is 12 plus brawn, and their starting strain threshold is 10 plus willpower, which is fairly high for a species. And they also begin the game with 100 XP. The Ishitib begin the game with 1 rank in discipline, and they are amphibious. They do have water dependence, so they do need to be doused in salt water at least once every 24 hours. Lanix begin the game with a 3 in intellect, a 1 in agility, and a 2 in everything else. They only start with a wound threshold of 8 plus brawn and a strain threshold of 12 plus willpower. They begin the game with 100 XP. And they also begin the game with 1 rank in Streetwise, and they are indomitable, meaning they can remove up to 2 setback dice caused by critical injuries, fear, or the disoriented condition from all checks. There are 3 new specializations for the commander. We have the figurehead, instructor, and the strategist. The commander's career skills are coercion, cool, discipline, knowledge warfare, leadership, perception, range light, and vigilance. The figurehead adds cool, leadership, negotiation, and knowledge core worlds as bonus career skills. For the first tier for the figurehead, we have grit, which allows you to gain +1 strain threshold. We have resolve, so when involuntarily suffering strain, suffer 1 less strain per rank of resolve to a minimum of 1. We have confidence, may decrease difficulty of discipline checks to avoid fear by 1 per rank of confidence, and we have command. Add a boost die per rank of command when making leadership checks. Affected targets add 1 boost die to discipline checks for the next 24 hours. In the second tier, we have another rank of command, we have another rank of grit, we have calm commander, so you may use ranks in cool to upgrade mass combat checks instead of ranks in leadership. And then we have inspiring rhetoric. Take the inspiring rhetoric action. Make an average leadership check. Each success causes 1 ally in close range to recover 1 strain. Spend advantages to cause 1 affected ally to recover 1 additional strain. In the third tier, we have another rank of grit, but we also have commanding presence. So remove a setback die per rank of commanding presence from leadership and cool checks. We also have improved inspiring rhetoric. So each ally affected by Inspiring Rhetoric gains a boost die on all skill checks for a number of rounds equal to ranks in leadership. And then we have positive spin. Whenever any character's duty would increase, it increases by an additional 1 per rank of positive spin. In the 4th tier, we have another rank of resolve, another rank of confidence, and another rank of commanding presence. But this time we're adding improved confidence. May spend triumph on fear checks to give allies in short range additional successes on the same fear check. And then at the 5th tier, we have intense presence. Spend 1 destiny point to recover strain equal to presence rating. We have natural leader. Once per session, may reroll any 1 cool or leadership check. We also have dedication, so we gain +1 to a single characteristic, although this cannot bring a characteristic above 6. And then we have improved commanding presence. Once per session, may take commanding presence action. Make an opposed cool versus discipline check to force target to leave the encounter. The instructor adds discipline, medicine, ranged heavy, and knowledge education to the career skills. For the 1st tier, we have conditioned. Remove 1 setback die per rank of conditioned from athletics and coordination checks. Reduce the damage and strain suffered from falling by 1 per rank of conditioned. We have physical training, so add a boost die per rank of physical training to athletics and resilience checks. We have bodyguard. Once per round, perform the bodyguard maneuver to guard an engaged character. Suffer a number of strain no greater than ranks of bodyguard. Then, until the beginning of the next turn, upgrade the difficulty of combat checks targeting the character by that number. And then we also have a rank of grit. For the 2nd tier, we have another rank of conditioned. We have toughened, which allows you to gain +2 wound threshold. We have encouraging words, so after an engaged ally fails a check, may suffer 1 strain to assist that ally's next check this encounter as an out-of-turn incidental. And then we have Stimpack specialization. Stimpaks heal 1 additional wound per rank of Stimpack specialization. For the 3rd tier, we have another rank of physical training, and we have another rank of bodyguard, but this time we add improved bodyguard. Once per session, when an ally protected by the bodyguard maneuver suffers a hit, suffer the hit instead. And we also have master instructor. Once per round as an out-of-turn incidental, may suffer 2 strain to allow ally to use character's ranks in discipline for next discipline check an ally makes. In the 4th tier, we have another rank of toughened, we have another rank of grit, we have another rank of Stimpack specialization, and then we have field commander. Take the field commander action. Make an average leadership check. A number of allies equal to presence may immediately suffer 1 strain to perform 1 free maneuver. In the 5th tier, we have improved field commander. Field commander action affects allies equal to double presence and may spend triumph to allow 1 ally to suffer 1 strain and perform 1 free action instead. We have natural instructor. Once per session, may reroll 1 discipline or leadership check. We have that's how it's done. May suffer 1 strain on successful skill checks to add advantages to the same skill check made by a number of allies equally to willpower within short range during the next round. And then we have dedication. The strategist adds computers, cool, vigilance, and knowledge warfare to the commander's career skills. We have 2 ranks of grit in the top tier, and then we have researcher. Remove a setback die per rank of researcher from all knowledge checks. Researching a subject takes half the time. And then we have ready for anything. Remove a setback die per rank of ready for anything on mass combat checks and cool or vigilance checks to determine initiative order. In the 2nd tier, we have another rank of grit. We have clever commander, so may use ranks in knowledge warfare to upgrade mass combat checks instead of ranks in leadership. We have command, add a boost die per rank of command when making leadership checks. Affected targets add a boost die to discipline checks for the next 24 hours. And we have well read. Choose any 3 knowledge skills. They permanently become career skills. In the 3rd tier, we have another rank of researcher and we have another rank of ready for anything. We also have knowledge specialization. When acquired, choose 1 knowledge skill. When making that skill check, may spend a triumph result to gain additional successes equal to ranks in knowledge specialization. We also have master strategist. Once per phase during a mass combat, may suffer 2 strain to decrease difficulty of a mass combat check once. In the 4th tier, we have another rank of command, and we also have another rank of knowledge specialization, which allows you to choose another knowledge skill. This time around, we have improved researcher. On a successful knowledge check, character and allies gain automatic advantages per rank of researcher on checks to act on those facts until the end of his next turn. And we also have coordinated assault. Take the coordinated assault maneuver. A number of engaged allies equal to leadership ranks add advantages to combat checks until beginning of next turn. Range increases per rank of coordinated assault. In the 5th tier, we have thorough assessment. Once per session, take a thorough assessment action. Make a hard knowledge check to gain boost dice equal to successes that can be distributed during the encounter. We also have careful planning. Once per session, may introduce a fact into the narrative as if a destiny point had been spent. We have improved ready for anything. When making cool or vigilance checks to determine initiative order, may spend triumph to add successes equal to ranks in ready for anything. And then we have dedication. The commander also has a new motivation, drive. This adds guilt, the mission, at all cost, command, subordinates, redemption, the game, ego, retirement, and spirit to their motivation categories. In addition, the commander has 2 signature abilities, rousing oratory and unmatched authority. Signature abilities are powerful, usually once per session abilities. These are attached to the bottom of a specialization that matches the career for that ability. There are also upgrades that you can purchase. Rousing Oratory's base ability says that once per game session, the character may perform a Rousing Oratory action, spend 2 destiny points, and make a hard leadership check to inspire a group to take action in a military situation about which members were previously hesitant. Some of the upgrades allow you to change the skill, recover some strain, or reduce the number of setback dice used when activating this ability. Some abilities also allow you to give boost die to your allies, and also reduce the cost of the destiny points needed to activate this ability. Unmatched Authority base ability says that once per game session, as an action during an encounter in structured time, the character may spend 2 destiny points to gain the following ability for the remainder of the current round and 2 additional rounds. As an out-of-turn incidental, the character may suffer 2 strain to downgrade the difficulty of an ally's skill check once. Some of the upgrades for this ability include a duration extension so that it'll last additional round, one that allows you to use it in mass combat. Some upgrades allow you to reduce the difficulty of the check or reduce the amount of setback dice you use, or even just decrease the amount of destiny points needed to activate it. Trappings of Command is the gear section for players. We actually have a couple pieces of new gear here, such as the BPEA IA Cascader, a dress uniform, ribbon rack, and the symbol of command. We actually have a new droid this time around, such as the T-Series Tactical Droid. We also get stats for that droid as well. And then we get some field equipment like the light anti-vehicle battery, the heat sink power generator, the multi-purpose sensor suite, the planetary shield generator, which I'm really surprised only costs that much, the DF-11 anti-infantry battery, the TACnet tactical data network. We also get modular command center, the modular reinforced bunker, modular motor pool, modular hangar, and the Milbar F221 modular barracks. For new vehicles, we have things like the SU-42RS flashbind aerial reconnaissance air speeder. We have the AA-70 observation and command speeder, the LAVR QH-7 chariot command speeder, the ATFRC force reconnaissance walker, which actually looks pretty sweet in all honesty. And then we get some starships like the Munificent class command, control, and communications frigate, the Surveyor class reconnaissance frigate, the MC-80A Home 1 type heavy star cruiser, the Assertor class command dreadnought, and the Maelstrom class battle cruiser. Overall, I find this to be a very weak list of new equipment, especially since we don't really get any new weapons, like personal weapons in this section or in this book, but you do get some stuff for bases if that's more of your thing. The Tides of Battle is the chapter for GMs. It adds some tips for integrating command characters, especially for anyone who is uncomfortable taking orders from a character controlled by another player. The big rule addition is mass combat, which was also added in the Collapse of the Republic era book, which actually came out later. First, we need to determine the size of the force and where the battle is taking place, either on the ground or by starship. The strength of the force can either be trivial, significant, imposing, staggering, vast, or overwhelming. Once we've figured out what the size of our forces are, we can add ability dice to the pool. Next, we determine the size of the opposing forces and add difficulty dice to the pool. The commander can upgrade dice on both sides depending on their leadership skills. Roll the dice and see how that particular phase of the battle goes. I really do like that they added an example of play for mass combat just for clarification, because it is a really in-depth system to use, even though it is relegated to just a couple rolls. The advice in this chapter mainly covers how to run a military-style campaign, which I thought would have been the main focus of one of the core rule books. But then again, I don't think there is a lot of advice on constructing a specific campaign in it. If you're brand new to running games or just need some ideas, then this would be worth a read-through. Last but not least, we have the Medals of Honor with campaign medals and ribbons. This is pretty much cosmetic, although it would have been really nice if they had added a way to create your own Medals of Honor with minor bonuses tied to them. Oh, you survived the Battle of Endor, you get such and such type of a deal. But instead, it's just fluff. This is pretty low tier for me. It doesn't add anything new in terms of new rules, but if you think about it, Lead by Example came out way before Collapse of the Republic, so this is kind of where the mass combat rule started. One of the signature abilities is more narrative than anything else, while the other one is more mechanical, so I kind of know which one I would pick if I was going to play as a commander character, but still, it's hit or miss. Other than that, the book really adds very little else to what's already a niche career. Unless you plan on playing as a commander, then I would probably stay clear of this one. Even if you are playing as a commander character, I would only get this if the specializations really speak to you. Well, that's going to do it for this video. Feel free to leave a comment down below, give this video a huge thumbs up to support the series, and I will see you guys in the next video.